Reflections on a plant. So this is a continuation. And so the last one, the end of the year one, was regards to hope. And this one, as you can tell from the leaf, uh, helping me to think about fighting through discouragement. Fighting through discouragement. I'm hoping that this plant is the quercifolium that I purchased it as, to complement the glad hands and the polypiories and my pedatum that's lost its variegation, that was variegated and it's lost its variegation collection. And as I mentioned in the last reflection of the plant, I've been waiting. It's taken it longer than typical. It took it 2 weeks to unravel, over 2 weeks actually, to fully unravel, and it's still got a little bit to fully unravel, but it's winter time, so. But when I saw this, I was hopeful that perhaps I hadn't been gypped like they gypped me with my supposed orange princess. Yeah, that's going to remain raw. Um, and anyways, but the rest of it unraveled. So it still remains to be seen. It still remains to be seen whether or not this is just a standard Nether Florida, or if this is the quercifolium that I desired. And so, it's New Year's and New Year's resolutions and things that you purpose to do, and things that you really, to get closer to the Lord, to really honor the Lord, things that I have purpose to do, and things that I have thought to honor the Lord and to grow closer to the Lord, and to rejoice in Him. And He's gracious. There are times when, you see fruition of hope, like this clearanced out orchid. I buy them on clearance. I like buying clearance plants because since I have so many, now my goal is the challenge of reviving. And as you can see, this clearanced out orchid is revived. It's not only revived, but in this space right here, it is budding like crazy. So I'm going to have some beautiful orchid blooms, whereas others, didn't revive. Like this one didn't revive, hasn't produced a new leaf. Most of the leaves that it came with died off. This is the last one standing. But this one is relatively new to me. Or like this Medinilla. No, it's not Medinilla. It's a type of ant plant, but I forget what it's called. But it's the one with really pretty leaves, which I've had it for years, and it does this. It goes dormant and dies off. But it's been like this now for almost more than a year, or maybe about a year, or maybe less, for several months, at least 6 months, if not more. And I'm still waiting. And my regale goes without saying. So how am I going to handle, how am I going to handle disappointment? I'm going to keep praising the Lord. I have committed to do something, a resolution type, but not a resolution, but, that I really wanted to honor the Lord and glorify the Lord, and it's a challenge. And, you think when you're, steadfast in the Lord and you're praying for things, and you get real hopeful, and then all of a sudden things just start going south. Pastor Vlad just recently did a sermon. I'm not sure if the full sermon's online or just the short clip talking about. I think they're both there, but I think I haven't listened to the full sermon yet. I've been looking for it, but I've listened to the short clip several times, talking about his name was Jairus, the chap in Acts who had turned to the Lord, and while he was worshiping, his daughter died, and and they were like persuading him, well, don't bother the master anymore. Your hope is vain or whatever. It's hard to push through, especially with, now this is just waiting to see what the next leaf will show, and but just committing, and things that I've committed to the Lord this year, to hold fast to them because, they're not always pleasant. They're not comfortable, but I've committed them for His glory to encourage myself in Him, to strengthen my endurance and dedication and devotion to Christ Jesus. So the battle, not just with, having to, you know, discipline the self and seek Christ first. The battle is to persevere in the midst of disappointment. Oh, it doesn't look like this is meaningful. It doesn't look like this is effective. It doesn't look like my hope is going to be that I'm going to have fruition, that I'm going to have, you know, a good, bountiful product. But I have to remember, one, time. Time is required. This is not my life. I'm just a squirrel. He gives the nuts. But there are things that he does. I don't remember how long I've had this orchid. But, and it could be lighting. Maybe circumstances aren't quite right. Time has to elapse. Who knows? It could be not as well. It really was never, ever an orange princess. Who knows? But for me, though, I have to be determined in my heart to wait upon God, to keep that which I have committed unto Him, and to be faithful and enduring, and pray for His help, His strength, His maintenance. So that is what this unknown philodendron is teaching me. As I look at it, I hope the next one, there's another one on its way. I'm hoping it will do something. Like I said, it's winter time, so even more slow. There's another side shoot, but that's going to be forever because that's a much younger plant. But, yeah. So my reflections today is just, things don't always go the way you want them to go. You don't see the fruition of what you have committed to the Lord or your hope. How are you going to handle it? Are you just going to give up? Are you going to keep waiting? Are you going to keep persevering? Are you going to keep praying? Are you going to keep trusting and keep hoping? So that's what this plant is helping me to think on, just like they have memorial stones in the Old Testament. Plants are memorials to me, reminding me of the goodness of God, the greatness of God, the worthiness of God, and that I want to stay devoted to Him. So, okay.